These last couple days, actually probably the last week or so, anger has been like something that is trying to infiltrate my life, and it's something that I had thought I had gotten completely under control. And it's so funny because we need to really understand that we are going to always be works in progress. Like, there's never going to be a time where we're going to have it completely all together. And I'm just so thankful for the fact that I have such a great relationship with God, and that, I surround myself with things that glorify Him, because it's so much easier to keep anger at bay. Like, for example, like road rage situations. Like, if I don't listen to secular music. I only listen to, gospel, Christian, rap, Afro gospel, things like that. Things that are glorifying the King of Kings, So it's like, yeah, I'm in my car and you're cutting me off, or you're doing something that I feel is completely asinine. But it's really hard to get upset when you're listening to music that is overpowering the atmosphere. Like, for example, today I was out driving, running some errands, nothing too crazy, and I'm jamming to me some I think that's Hezekiah Walker, Power Belongs to God. I'm jamming, and this car in front of me is just, I don't know, they were trying to figure out their GPS. They were going to the left lane, they were going to the right lane, they were going to the left lane, they didn't know where they were going. And it was irritating, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm like, whatever. So they finally pick a lane, and as soon as the light changes, they decide that they don't want to be in that lane. So now they're blocking and holding up traffic. And like I said, anger and frustration kind of started trying to creep up. And I'm like, jamming to Power Belongs to God. Like, I'm literally singing about God. I'm literally thinking about how the power belongs to Him. There's nothing too hard for Him. How good He is. Like, instantly, that's a heart check. That's an instant heart check. Like, I'm not about to allow anger to come in and destroy first of all, my great mood that I was in, and allow me to move in a way that's going to be an open door. I don't know if people really understand that anger is actually like a portal. Like, anger is actually a portal. It can be just enough of an open door for Satan to slowly start to try to trickle in. It's like a foothold for him. You know how they say, don't give the devil a foothold. If you're Rapunzel, I'm just using this as an example, and you're at the top of the castle, it's like, why are you giving him your hair? Like, you don't want him to climb up. So it's like, or when you're going rock climbing, they use their hands and their foot. They use their hands and their feet to get up the wall. But imagine if there was no place for their feet to go, only places for their hands. It's like, when you let anger penetrate your spirit, it looks a lot simpler in the earthly realm, but in the spiritual realm, Satan and his crew is rubbing his hands like Birdman. They're happy about that, because that's the first step. If they can get anger in your heart, if they can get you to not love your neighbor as you love yourself, if they can get you to not love your neighbor as you love yourself, and get you to curse people who curse you versus blessing people who, curse you or upset you. Not having a forgiving heart, holding grudges, being rude, being mean. You are supposed to be representing God. You're supposed to be representing Christ. You can't be out here mean and rude. Now, listen to me. If you actually got in your word, you would realize that Jesus Christ was actually hilarious in the way that he spoke with his riddles and his parables and his hint of sarcasm. I don't know if that has ever really dawned on people when they read the Bible, but I always, as a sarcastic person, I always read it and I'm just so tickled because I'm like, he actually is so funny. He's trying these people. I mean, not trying them, but he's checking these people in the most kindest, but I don't know. It's just funny to me thinking about that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just working on anger and not letting it in, and also just realizing that I'm human and that even when I think I've conquered something, we battle not against the flesh. There's principalities that are going to keep on trying to find a loophole and a way in, and it's my job to stay prayed up, to stay fasted, to stay at the feet of Jesus in order for me to really truly just be in good standing. It's hard to sin when you're just encapsulated in his love and surrounded by his grace and his content, things that's revolving around him. If you're listening to this, this music they have out these days in the secular realm is so sexualized or violent or criminalized. It's no wonder people are struggling with those things because they listen to that and feed their spirit that every single day. But me, I'm feeding my spirit, good content, things about Christ, things about God, things about being a wife. I'm in preparation for that. And I can't say that 100% everything is, there's some things that slip through the cracks of this is, where is God in this? You know what I mean? But overall, my day is consumed with great content about being a better woman of God, and it helps so much because I'm not being fed sex, lies, money, drugs, partying. It's so easy to be more humble about how I address people. It's easier to not be so angry and not be rageful when I'm listening to music that inspires, good things. If I'm listening to Lil Jon and the Eastside Boys while I'm having road rage, can you imagine how upsetting and how that atmosphere would be? Versus me listening to Hezekiah Walker and screaming about how all the power belongs to God. And it just helps to know that everything, even the weird stuff that gets on your nerve, is all for a reason. You just never know who you're impacting. You just never know what someone is learning from you that you won't even get a chance to witness. You won't even get a chance to witness what they were learning from you or what they got from a moment. Like today I was in Dollar Tree and the cashier was an older gentleman, and you can tell he really hated his job. He was having a bad day. I don't know. But, I'm going to be me. I'm going to show up in the world as a light. And so, everyone was picking up on his energy, and they were reciprocating that back to him. They were not speaking, he's being mean, and he's giving off, rudeness. And so all his customers were doing the same. But when I got up there to the register, I'm like, hi, how are you? And he barely wanted to say hello. Barely wanted to say anything, if he really did. I'm almost sure that he purposely, stuck his middle finger up at me while he was putting the things in the bags. But I could be wrong. It is what it is. And so I just, told him I hope that he has a better day. And if he can't, he can at least try, And I just told him, be blessed and have a good day. And he mockingly laughed, because when I said it, I'm like, just try to have a good day. And he mockingly laughed, like shut up, basically. And I'm just like, wow, I we all have our bad days. It's just, I would hate to be that miserable, it just sucks. But you never know who was looking in the line behind me, who might have needed, it's not that bad. Just try to have a better day. Be blessed. We are all living. It's people who didn't wake up today. It's people who don't have a job at all. I know you might hate your job, but they don't have a way to get income. They don't have a way to provide for their family or themselves. And we all just have to count our blessings. And I'm not going to lie, in that moment, my flesh was annoyed, because my flesh was trying, like I said, anger. It was trying to rise up. So it could be take over the wheel. Once you let anger in, it starts to take over, and then you say and do things that are unbecoming and not like Christ and not a representative of who you actually are. It's a spirit of anger speaking through you, and it's going to cut down someone who's already having a bad day. That would have not been what I would have wanted. And I'm so thankful that I have the spirit, the fruit of the Spirit. I'm so thankful that I have the fruit of the Spirit, self-control. And I was able to breathe my way out of that situation and not let my flesh or anger take over. I'm so thankful for that, because that man, whatever he was going through, I don't know his circumstances. He could have just gotten some bad news. He could have been sick. He could have been whatever, It's not right for him to take it out on everyone else, but at the same time, I don't know his circumstances. So just having compassion for people and knowing that just because someone lashes out at you, you don't have to lash out back. Me lashing out at him could have been his last straw, or someone else seeing that. Imagine one of my viewers of my podcast, seeing all the great, amazing things that I post about how much I love God and how I'm trying to be as Christ-like as possible. And then for them to have been in the Dollar Tree line behind me, and me not knowing, of course, and to say, oh, I saw Shay at Dollar Tree berating a Dollar Tree employee. That would not fly over well with me, and that would really be embarrassing and disturbing. And that's not to say that I'm not human and that I'm not allowed to be human because I have a platform, but it's just you have to think about these things. I am living what I'm speaking. I'm not just telling you guys. I'm not just talking. I'm not just cap. It's not cap. I'm living these things. I'm walking this walk. And it's not easy all the time. I struggle, but it's worth it. And yeah, it's definitely worth it. And I'm going to continue to do that. And I'm going to continue to just trust God to do the rest. I don't always get a chance to see what my example or what my compassion or what my my love can do. I may never see that man again, but at the end of the day, I display kindness instead of anger, and that's a small win. So make sure you're not giving the devil and his little trifling crew a foothold in your life. Keep that anger at bay. Keep your mouth in check. Have some self-control. Because when anger takes the wheel, you're liable to say and do anything. It's super dangerous. And we have to make sure that we're keeping that in check.